Happy Wednesday, everybody. This is Alan Weber speaking, not from the mayor's office, but from home, complying with the governor's orders that we should all stay home as much as possible. Only make trips that you need to make to the grocery store, to the pharmacy. We are in an emergency situation. The numbers are skyrocketing when it comes to the spread of COVID-19. It truly is a huge health crisis. We need to be very careful of our own health. We need to take care of our families and not spread COVID-19 within our own families. We need to be careful with people we work with, people we are in contact with. So if you don't have to go out, don't go out. If you can stay home, work from home, do that. If you can only go to the supermarket, only go to the pharmacy, do that. But remember, whatever you do, wear a mask, use hand sanitizer, keep social distancing. Please be very careful. These are extremely dangerous times with COVID out there spreading everywhere. I think it's pretty clear that the way to behave is what we said at the beginning with the Santa Fe promise. Act as if you have it. Act as if the person you might be talking with also has it. Act as though you don't want to spread it and you don't want to have it spread to you. The numbers that we've seen here in Santa Fe County and around the state are really off the charts. More than 2,000 cases statewide yesterday, 141 in Santa Fe County, 24 deaths we're up to now, sadly. We had 91 cases the day before that, 92 the day before that. Really, we've got community-wide spread. And you have to remember that even though we are now quarantining, we're staying home, we're trying to take this reset, this circuit breaker, the cases that are being recorded took place, the infections, the spread took place before this reset. So it'll be a while before we see anything happen to demonstrate that we're getting a bend in the curve on COVID-19, but nothing could be more important. We don't want people in the hospital. We don't want any more fatalities. We don't want people suffering what could be the after effects of this virus. Apparently, it not only makes you sick for a period, but for some people, there are serious implications of after effects that continue to be present after you feel that the virus is gone. So please, please, please be very careful. Be mindful of the governor's order, wear a mask, use hand sanitizer, practice social distancing. Remember to only make the trips that are absolutely necessary. Now, we all know that the COVID-19 crisis is not only a healthcare crisis, it's also a financial, economic, family crisis. So let me tell you some things that we're doing to try to help. First of all, I've got some data from our Community Services Department. We got CARES Act funding from the governor, from the state, because we jumped on dealing with COVID early. So we got $17.5 million. Right now, our community services team has put out $3.56 million of the original $3.66 million that was allocated for something called the Connect program. The Connect program is for individuals and families that need direct help. We have money to help you. And we anticipate that there will be another $1 million that goes into the Connect program as we reprogram funds that aren't going to be spent for the purposes that they were originally allocated for. $950,000 has gone out to residents of Santa Fe impacted by COVID, helping with food, utilities, rent, shelter, and other bills. And $172,000 has gone out to Santa Feans who need childcare so they can continue to have jobs. This week, Connect partners are seeking to link eligible residents who need immediate cash assistance that can be directly deposited into their bank accounts or sent to them in the form of a prepaid credit card. Somos is helping link people who have not been eligible for unemployment or federal stimulus money or whose workplaces have been shut down because of COVID, there is $750 in cash assistance. If you want to apply, call Somos at 844-365-6635. Chainbreaker Collective is also helping link people who have not, who are at risk of eviction. Another big issue. Housing is fundamental. People are unable to pay the rent. We don't want anyone evicted. If you need help, you're eligible to get $3,000 in cash assistance with the help of an organization, the Family Independence Initiative, or FII. If you want to access these funds or find out if you're eligible, call Chainbreaker 505-577-5481. This is a new opportunity with Somos and the Chainbreaker Collective, made possible by a partnership with the Family Independence Initiative, FII, which has helped cities all over the United States distribute CARES Act money directly to individuals and families who need help in the form of cash assistance. If any of this needs more explanation, or you didn't get those phone numbers, or you want to find out how to help, call this number. It's the Connect number, 995-9525. It's a partnership between the city and the county, working collaboratively to help families and individuals make it through this tough period with money provided through the CARES Act funding. There's also money available in the form of help for businesses, small businesses that are looking to make it through this period of time. And I've got some more information about that from our economic development team. There is grant money available for small businesses. It's not a loan. You don't have to pay it back. It is a grant. Program offers one-time grants of up to $15,000 for qualifying small businesses and nonprofits in Santa Fe County. The city of Santa Fe and the town of Edgewood will cover a variety of reimbursable costs that have been brought about due to COVID-19. Funding is on a first-come, first-served basis, and you don't have to pay back the funds, but the funds expire. We'll put them out between now and the end of December. So far, 33 grants have been made. There are another 60 applications working their way through the pipeline. Here are the kinds of businesses that we want to apply. You're eligible. We're encouraging you to get an application in. Retail shops, restaurants, galleries, nonprofits, mom and pop shops, sole proprietorships. If you're just a one-person business, you qualify. If you have fewer than 50 employees or no employees, if you make less than $2 million in revenue, if you have seen a loss of 25% or more in your revenue during the pandemic, you qualify. Now, if you're not sure, you can go online, or you can attend a webinar. Every Tuesday, it's in English, and Thursday, it's in Spanish at 5 p.m. You can go to the City of Santa Fe website and find out more about how to apply and how to find those webinars. The URL is really long. I'm not going to read it to you, but you can find it by going to the City of Santa Fe website or contact the mayor's office. And if you email the mayor's office, we'll email you the link to register for one of the webinars. Really a good way to find out whether you are eligible to get this $15,000 grant. Now, other help is coming from our friends at the Food Depot. Thursday, tomorrow, 7 to 9 a.m., the Food Depot is doing a distribution at 1222 Seiler Road. Now, I've been getting emails from our friends at the Food Depot that the lines are long and it takes some time, but please, if you need help, be patient. Don't try to jump the line. Don't turn it into a confrontation. Wait your turn. There's food for everybody. If you don't need food but you want to help, please make a financial contribution to the Food Depot. They are feeding hungry Santa Feans. We want them to be able to have plenty to give out during this holiday season and beyond. Speaking of the holiday season, there's some wonderful news about our seniors division, recognizing and helping seniors this holiday season. 200 curbside turkey dinners were handed out, and 1,000 home delivered turkey dinners went out to our seniors today, courtesy of Community Services, our senior division, doing a lot of good work to keep people fed and to provide the spirit of Thanksgiving with a good, healthy Thanksgiving meal. Now, what are we going to do about COVID, folks? Here's how I see it. We started knowing that COVID was going to be a serious health crisis in March. March, April, May, we were strong, we were united. We all did the right thing. We wore masks, we looked after each other, we curtailed our trips. We saw to it that if we went out, we were wearing masks, keeping social distance, washing our hands when we came home. So we know what the right steps are. We know that if we follow the science, we'll be able to see what's causing the problem and how to solve the problem. The science and the data are our guideposts. At the same time, we know there's hope. We know there are 2 new vaccines that are finding their way through the approval process. We also know that, interesting and thankfully, New Mexico has been chosen as one of 4 states where the vaccines will be available on an early test basis. So here's what we got to do. Between now and the time that the vaccines become available, we have to do everything within our power to bend the curve. We know what that takes. Curtail your trips, stay home, work from home if you can. When you go out, wear a face mask, use hand sanitizer, practice social distancing. Avoid closed spaces. Don't stay up close to other people. Stay 6 feet or more away. Practice social distancing. These are the things that work. We are taking some of our employees who are now not working in their traditional jobs because the facilities are closed, and we are sending them out with training and with face masks and with information so that we will continue to get the message out that it matters when we follow the guidelines set by the governor. It will make a difference. So these employees will be out and about. They'll have face masks to hand out if you need one. They'll have information about the governor's order. They will be polite. Please be polite back to them. Help them do their job of helping all of us stay safe. It's a way in which we are doing our best as a city government, not only to continue to deliver the essential services that you need and depend on, that you require and deserve, we're also using the situation of a COVID-19 close down to redeploy some of our employees so that there's more information, more support, more face masks, more hand sanitizer out in the community. There's some other things that you need to know about that are going on that are pretty important. Another significant thing you need to know about, looking through my notes here, is you should still get your flu shot. Even during this 2-week shutdown, flu shots are available. And when you get a flu shot, you not only protect yourself from the flu, you make it safer for yourself. If you were to come down with COVID, you won't get both COVID and a heavy dose of the flu. So please, flu shots are available. It is part of a permitted healthcare step, a preventative step. Go get a flu shot. That kind of a trip is okay. Some things that are going on that are important in our community, because we're not only dealing with COVID and the economic impacts of COVID, but the city government continues to step up, all of our employees delivering services and getting the job done. Last night was the first meeting of the Health and Safety Task Force. There's a YouTube recording that you can watch. It lasted for about 2 hours. The first formal meeting, Councilwoman Villarreal and Councilor Rivera were the co-chairs, and they began to talk as a group about what their different views are on how to move forward to address this combination of public health and public safety. What do we want our police officers to do? What do we want our social workers to do that we used to ask police officers to do? How do we redefine the role of policing so that it really focuses on the things that we wish our officers were spending time on, and we let social workers or emergency health workers take care of other kinds of calls for service? It is a really good group of people. The leadership from our co-chairs is extraordinary and exceptional. There will be notices for the next upcoming meeting, so please do tune in and make your voices heard. This is a national issue. I think we've got a pretty strong set of policies that our police are asked to follow when it comes to things like use of force, and the requirement that officers report other officers if they exceed the use of force, the requirement that there be no chokeholds or neck-related restraints. Our policies are there for you to read and for you to judge whether you think we've got the right policies in place, the right training for our officers, and at the same time, do we have protocols in place where social workers or emergency medical technicians can step in instead of police officers? So please tune in. At the same time, we're making progress on the so-called CHART committee. The CHART committee stands for culture, history, art, reconciliation, and truth. This is the committee that we're working to set up to begin to do outreach, to talk all around our community and every part of Santa Fe about how we feel about culture and history and art. What is our reaction to the toppling of the obelisk by a few people who took the law into their own hands? What is our reaction to different versions of history in New Mexico and in northern New Mexico in particular? How do we evaluate and assess the past honestly? How do we come to a better future by respecting each other? That CHART committee will be in front of the City Council in a couple weeks. Please tune in. Let your voices be heard. I think the two most important pieces of work to be done, one is to get that community engagement happening so that everybody's voice can be heard across our diverse community. And the second is to talk about statues and monuments, works of art, the ones we have and the ones we don't have. What should we be commissioning that reflect our diverse history and the culture of Santa Fe and northern New Mexico? How do we use this process to respect and learn from each other? How do we sit down and not just talk, but listen in a constructive way? And how do we use the pain of the past and the anger about the obelisk to move forward in a constructive way so that everyone feels as though they've been heard, they've been listened to, they have been respected, and we begin to heal the wounds of the past and come together for an even more cohesive, respectful, compassionate future. We've done it before. This is a community that knows how to do it. We simply have to be willing to sit down at the table together, look each other in the eye, listen, and learn. Now, I had a wonderful hour-long visit this morning with 3 leaders, student leaders from the community college who wanted to talk about history, culture, and art, and what young people in Santa Fe can do to help heal the wounds of the past. And I can tell you, I came away from that discussion, that virtual meeting, feeling so optimistic about the people in our community who are young, who are open-minded, who believe in justice and healing, but who also have pride about our history and our past, who know that we've got so much to be proud of, that if we do this work with patience, with respect, with dignity for everybody, we can set a tone for the rest of the nation to learn from as this conversation goes on all over America. There have been more than 100 monuments that have been taken down all over the United States, across the South and into the Pacific Northwest. And tragically here, we had it done in a way that none of us feel very good about. In fact, most of us feel like it was a kick in the gut. But we can rebound. We can bounce back. We can come back stronger and more united if we join in a process for healing and for learning. So the chart committee is moving forward. Please listen in, tune in, send your thoughts, and ultimately, once there is a committee that has been formed by resolution, we'll be opening the process for people to apply to be considered to be appointed to that committee. There's preparation going on for a legislative session. We're very pleased and proud that the Community Convention Center is a site that could be used for a legislative session. We've been working with the state government, with the legislature to get that set up, and hopefully it will go forward. The legislature has a lot of work to do. Some of it is to deal with changes to the laws of our state. Some of it has to do with adaptations in response to COVID. We certainly need more support for our businesses and our residents, our community members coming out of the state. We haven't gotten it from the federal government. Hopefully the state will be able to weigh in and make some money and resources available. At the same time, there are a lot of legislative items that the city is in favor of that we'll be working to try to help promote. And I'm hoping that that legislative session can take place at our community convention center. We'd be very proud to be the host to make sure that it is done with COVID safe practices so that there's distancing and that it doesn't produce any spreading of COVID, but it does lead to a productive session. It's a real testimony to the folks at the Community Convention Center, Randy Randall and his whole team, that they've been working with the legislative leadership and the state, with the governor and her team, to set up the Community Convention Center so that it could be the site of that session. The city of Santa Fe is always eager to help and to work collaboratively with the state. Coming up, lighting up the plaza. There will be a lighting or a virtual lighting, a celebration the day after Thanksgiving at 5:15, a virtual lighting that will go on. You can watch it on your computer or your smartphone, and then starting at 5:30 through 9 o'clock that evening, a drive around the plaza to check it out, to look at the lights from your car. The plaza will be closed for pedestrian traffic, but there will be a chance to cruise through and wave at Mrs. and Mr. Claus, who will be on the plaza. Our friends at K Suave are having a Christmas cruising evening of music, so put that on your calendar as something coming up the day after Thanksgiving, lighting up the plaza and having a plaza cruise to check out the lights and to wave at Mr. and Mrs. Claus. There's some more good news about housing. Some of you remember that for several years there was work being done to try to create a creative housing solution at Seiler Yard where artists of all kinds could have affordable housing. Well, it's finally coming to pass. Applications for housing at that site, at that remarkable Arts and Creativity Center site, applications will open up this December. You can apply at seileryard.org/apply. See if you can get into this really cool site. I remember when I became mayor, the effort was very strong to try to get the tax credits to build that project. They were a few points short 2 years in a row, and the concern was that three strikes and you're out. You got to get it, or it goes, or you will not get it the next time. We had a meeting in the mayor's office with a whole group of concerned housing advocates, and the net result was they got the points, they got the tax credits. Now it's time to apply for housing. So the housing applications are opening this December. Tomorrow is the last day of the Santa Fe Public Schools Adelante Coat Drive. Now, we're seeing some really nice days during the day, but it gets cold at night, and people in our community need coats. The Public School Adelante Coat Drive is accepting men's coats in all sizes, baby coats and jumpsuits, boys' coats, toddler coats, girls' toddler coats, boys' toddler coats. Tomorrow is the last day. Drop off a new or previously laundered coat at 1300 Camino Sierra Vista, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. If you have a coat you don't need, or you want to go out and buy a coat and deliver it, it's going to get cold. We have people who need food and shelter and warm coats. Help them out. The Adelante Coat Drive ends tomorrow. November 16th through 22 is Global Entrepreneurship Week, celebrating entrepreneurship here in Santa Fe. Go to the website gewsantafe.com, GEW, Global Entrepreneur Week, santafe.com. There are more than 30 events, training on how to be an entrepreneur, how to get help, how to promote your project or your business, digital marketing strategies. All of this is going on right now during Global Entrepreneurship Week. There's research on how to get more funding. Our great friend Deb Haaland, Congresswoman Haaland, her office is holding a federal grants funding workshop. There's a lot going on. There's a panel with Native artists. Entrepreneurship is something everybody can do and everybody can be. An entrepreneur is not something special. It's just a way of starting your own business, creating your own opportunity rather than looking for a job, becoming your own job. So check out Global Entrepreneurship Week. Another free online workshop for artists and creative individuals in Santa Fe. Our Arts and Culture Department, free Culture Connect Cares Artist Professional Training opportunities, November and December of 2020. A lot going on there. Series of 3 online workshops in November and December. Earliest workshops starting right now. So there is a link. My guess is, I don't have it in this document right here, but if you go to the city's website, you can find it. There's a way, there'll be trainings on how to do your own video and promote your own projects. So check it out. 3 online workshops or seminars, November, December. Act now. Register at the links that are available. Go to the city's website. I'm sure you can find it. If you get stuck, an email to the mayor's office will unstuck you. That's about it. Oh, there's a city council meeting tonight. I forgot that. This is a really important process we're engaged in right now, because we're finding ways to spend the CARES Act money that we got from the state. One of the things that our city manager, Jarrell LePan Hill, did that was quite brilliant, I think, and showed a lot of managerial foresight, was to recognize that in November and December, city council has very few meetings. And so she put extra meetings, special meetings on the calendar. One is tonight, to make it possible for the council to adjust spending of the CARES Act money as we see contracts change and the need to flexibly move the money around. So there's a meeting tonight. If you're interested, again, go to the city's website or the YouTube channel for the city of Santa Fe and tune in to that meeting tonight. Come back to where we started, folks. COVID. COVID-19 is the challenge of our time. Somebody has said it's like a combination of the Great Depression and a world war with the Spanish flu mixed in. We have got a spread of cases that is dangerous to everybody's health and well-being, and then the aftershocks are just as dangerous to our economy and our social fabric. We've got to look after people in our community who are the most vulnerable. We've got to give people housing if they are experiencing homelessness. We've got to feed people who need nutrition in their lives and need food in their stomachs. We've got to look after each other. We've got to wear masks and wear them when we go out, and wash our hands when we come home, and practice social distancing. This is the challenge of our time: to keep each other safe, to show compassion, to practice love, to keep hope in our hearts as we wait for the vaccine to arrive, knowing that it will arrive. There are 2 now that are showing promise, and New Mexico has been selected as an early state to receive the vaccine. So help is on the way. In the meantime, we have to help each other. We have to be our own best resources when it comes to bending the curve of COVID-19. You know what it takes. Stay home, work from home if you can, stay home if you don't need to go out. If you need to make a shopping trip to the grocery store, do it and come home right away. Be very mindful of the need to practice social distancing. You can do pickups curbside, but please don't go into closed spaces. Don't violate the governor's orders when it comes to indoor dining or any of those things that we know are ways in which the COVID virus spreads. Please look after each other. Be careful for each other, not only for yourself and for your own family, but for everybody in our community. We're in this together. We're going to make it through this together. We're going to come out of it together, and we're going to end up celebrating the ways in which we helped each other, stayed strong, stayed healthy, and bent the curve of COVID-19. Thanks everybody for watching. I hope to see you again soon. Until I do, please stay safe. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. Take care of our community. Together, we will all take care of Santa Fe. Stay safe. Stay healthy. I'll see you next time. Thank you.